So, I've got a secret that I want to share with the people who watch this. If you could remove harmful habits, self-sabotage, limiting beliefs, emotional reactivity, intrusive thoughts, constant inner disharmony, knowing that despite your best efforts, that things still don't materialize the way that you thought they would. If you could remove that, to release that, to make sure that that was no longer a consistent thing, would you do it? And this is one of the questions that I was posed myself, and I'm so happy that I had the will and the courage to follow through with it and actually do it. So what am I talking about? The secret is called transpersonal therapy. And transpersonal therapy is an umbrella term for multimodality practices that essentially are nothing like traditional talk therapy. These are working with neuroscience. These are working with the biofield. These are getting to the root cause of any detrimental patterns, thoughts, actions, behaviors, feelings of lack, scarcity, unworthiness. All of these they don't belong to us, right? They don't belong. But transpersonal therapy is how these can all be resolved. Specifically, IEMT, Integral Eye Movement Therapy. So this is something that basically involves a lot of this. Coming with a certain limitation or certain way of being that you don't particularly like, that's causing problems in your life, and the trained practitioner will be moving her fingertips, asking you to breathe, speaking to you when necessary. And when all of this is happening, you're going to feel so many emotions come up. Your face might start to grimace like you're going to cry. You might be burping, you might be yawning. But all of this is that darkness leaving your body. The spirit, the etymology of the word spirit is Latin for from within, the breath from within. So when you're burping, when you're breathing, all of these are just the byproducts of that release. The body has to release it somehow. And this is what happens. Who would have thought by just moving your fingers like this, you would rewire, reconfigure the whole neural circuitry up here, similar to how a psychedelic would work, except this works without the side effects. This works without the alteration in the sense of a destabilizing one. This one works instantly, and you're going to be embracing a smile, you're going to be feeling so free in your mind. I can't tell you how beautiful the therapy is. And the reason I'm making this video is because literally an hour and a half ago I had a session with my wife, who is a trained transpersonal therapist, manifestation teacher, and just an all-round, well, let's just say she would have been burned at the stake thousands of years ago. So when you're privileged to have this experience and be able to have the courage to actually admit that there is something that needs to go, it's causing problems in your life, and you have that willpower to actually confront the fact that this needs to go. When you have that about you and you have this therapy, you're gonna be so happy that you did it, and you took that leap. There's no leap of faith here. It's proven. It's been around since the early 2000s, which is very, quite relatively new. But I'm telling you, this is going to be the future. This is the equivalent of biohacking, neurohacking. This is pure instant relief and restructuring of the subconscious mind. You make the subconscious and the conscious intertwine, because the subconscious is running 95% of your lived experience. If you don't like what you see, your subconscious is comfortable. If you're comfortable by what you see around you, your subconscious is basically dictating that. But if you know that there's more, and you believe in your heart that there's more, and you're worthy of that, consciously that may be the case, but subconsciously it's telling you a different story. And the problem is, most of us are running the childhood programming in adult bodies. So we are basically still running the experiences from when we were between the ages of conception and 7 years old. We're still running that, because the brain at that stage is in theta brainwave state. What does that mean? It means essentially you're under hypnosis. Everything that you are experiencing at that time is seen as a fact. Seen as a fact. There is no ability for us to regulate. There's no criteria. Our parents are none the wiser to this. They themselves are still running childhood programs. So ultimately we're at the disposal of what? Of society. The traditions, the conventions. And now a lot of us now know that those traditions, the societal conformities and ways of seeing things, were all set up to make sure that we didn't know that we are in control. Alright? The subconscious mind is how we take control back. We access that. We take control. We no longer become passive, because our mental plane has been hijacked. The physical plane is the byproduct of that mental plane hijacking, emotional hijacking. What do? You find ways to access, change the script, and no longer live in default mode. It's called default because it's faulty. We are in control. We are in control. You are in control. You are in control. This universe is your world. It's your world. You're the first person player. You're not a spectator. But you have to overcome the subconscious mind. You have to release what is holding you back. And this is what we do at Reset Wellness. Well, my wife does. I help on the more physical plane. But this is what we can do. And I have absolute faith that this will be the future. And we can't wait for you to experience this. So, for more information, and if you're genuinely curious, then any information is going to be in the bio, in the old description box. And we wait for your call. Thank you.